Hello everyone, we're a bit early today because I needed to take a kid somewhere. What we're going to do is drive around. He has an appointment at 1 that he wants to be a little bit early for, but... Huh?
Your clock's just warming up.
Yeah, it's an hour and like 2 minutes. Does that make sense? So if we're here in 10 to 12 minutes, you're here 10 minutes early. So figured I'd drive around, work on the port key. I'm gonna let him hold the phone. Maybe watch. I don't know if anyone will show up or not. But you can watch. We will start heading back. Does that make sense? Okay. That'll get you there plenty,
It's my dad.
Okay, hello.
Hello, Dad?
They found it at Mountain Crest High School today.
Oh, boy.
They can't say all schools in Murray School District are closed right now because of it, but they found it at Mountain Crest and USU.
Dad?
What?
You ever heard the issues they've put in? The governor just did today, have you?
You aren't working.
You're not going to be
next week or
working
the
for
week
2
after.
weeks.
What?
The governor has now, starting Monday, no more than 100 people in one area.
Ouch! Ouch! The governor just shut down the plant.
Pretty much.
Starting Monday. No more than 100 people congregated in one area at one time. Statewide.
It's a statewide effect.
Statewide effect.
The our schools are the only thing exempt, like
Anyway, that's not good. Anyway,
kindergarten through 12.
I gotta get back to work. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
But you know why he's telling me that, don't you?
They just found it at Crest.
Yeah, and that means we gotta pull Mindy and David.
Out of school.
Yeah.
And USU. Shoot.
What?
I guess it...
We don't have anyone at USU right now. There's no
I know.
need to pull anyone out there. But we need to
Jen-
contact.
Jen said hello.
Hi,
Scott.
Jen.
Steph. Is that, Goddess? Or?
Goddess Diana, or it's on, off, and on. And then there's Steph.
Did you hear about that, Jen, or?
My guess is if she got on while we were talking, she heard.
Like, I was just
She's not stopped from working.
David's don't need to yell comment to Caden was funny. Like, immediately. The only good thing there's only 3 people at my work. Yeah,
that's what I said. Jen will
You're
be
fine.
Brett actually is really good. There is, I think, only one place in the valley that has union contract.
Which is JPS.
And that's where Brett works. And one of the restrictions in the contract is that, period, they have to pay at least 32 hours a week. Whether they're working or not, they have to pay at least 32 hours a week.
Oh, there's a new Pokestop up here.
So,
that I can spin so I'm proud on.
So, Brett will be paid for 32 hours even with this going on. So,
Yes, they did.
That explains even more why what's happening is happening. Dad's actually said maybe he should go work at JBS for like 2 years or something, and be part of the union, because not just as a union member, but at one point he was like one of the union lead, not high-end union leaders, but leaders for his area. To say, I I haven't read what the governor said, but it sounds like anywhere that has over 200 people, and
100.
Over 100 people is shut down. Now, I will say most places like that are large companies. So I'm thinking that the governor's just saying, you need to take care of your people.
They also said if you're sick, don't come to work.
Well, naturally. They've been saying that for a while.
Don't come to school or work. If it's been discovered a mountain crash.
Yeah, where Brett said it was, I'm gonna have to do some more looking and contacting a festival where Caden didn't catch it and Steven didn't catch it. Brett hinting at finally getting it, but he's not sure. So it doesn't sound like it's the same thing because of this length of time. And I'm pretty positive it's not coronavirus that we had, just because everyone in the family should have come down with it if it was, having never been exposed to it before. So well, about 12, and we're about a minute or two away.
Nice that my dad's unionized.
But yeah, so what I was saying about with Brett, there was one point a couple years after the union came in, Brett applied for vacation, and according to union rules, he should have got it, but they gave, because it goes by seniority based, and they gave someone the time off, a whole week off, the same week Brett wanted, that had only been there a few months to a year, and Brett had been there over 10 years, and he had asked for it off before Brett could even put in his vacation request. Like, before they even started accepting vacation requests, he put in and they gave it off to him off. And so Brett took it out. Brett said, I'll work with you. Nope, I'm taking the whole week off. I don't care what you say. And they insisted, nope, there was no way Brett was going to get any of the time off. So then Brett took it up to Human Resources, and they're like, sorry, we can't do anything. So at that point, Brett went into the union and just mentioned it, because he was like, this is in the contract. And the guy said, okay, if I get it for you, will you join the union? And Brett said, definitely, because this is not fair.
Steph just said you would still be coughing and lungs full of fluid if it was the coronavirus.
Okay. But yeah, so I got to get a hold of people and get a hold, especially where it's at Mountain Crest. I'll have to get a hold of people and say, find out what to do about Mindy and David. Are you getting out?
Yeah. I'm just ready for work. I just got to go to the service desk saying I'm here for an interview.
Okay.
And
just let me know when.
I'll let you know when I'm at.
So we're going to stay here in Smithfield, driving around, and go from there. So and that's another thing, where we just all got sick, there's no way our immune systems are even anywhere slightly recovered. And so on top of the normal weak immune systems we have, they're even weaker right now. So chances of catching something are really high. And knowing how easy it is to injure stuff, not good. So after the stream, after I pick up Caden, I may end the stream and contact on that. So oh, sorry about the omelet overlay. I put it on for one that was just on Omlet and messed up. We're driving around Lee's. Caden has an interview at Lee's. Yeah. And my thing is I really believe that they will work with us. Smaller school, they work with us anyway, usually. And so to throw on top of that what's going on, I have a feeling they even might say, yes, please. Not just, okay, we'll work with you, but they might say, yes, please. Yes, I'm hopeful. That would be, I will say this, it would be a huge help for us as a family even, not just him. Because right now we've been covering his vehicle insurance out of our own pockets. He's like $800+ in debt to us right now. So if he got the job, he could start paying us back. Yeah. So the one thing we do is that they have to be responsible for their own car insurance. We literally are covering, we haven't asked anything for food from them, anything. Stephen has to cover the insurance on his phone that's about $15 a month. And Mindy may need to pick it up after she graduates. And Caden may need to. We're debating on that. But they have to pay their own car insurance. So we cover all food, basically everything. They cover gas and car insurance. And that's it. And they have cell phones and whatever. Stephen actually covers, if they choose to go out to eat on their own, they have to cover that. I will say that. But a lot of times, if we go out to eat as a family, we cover it. We cover the food. So there's a lot of stuff that we cover that a lot of people with kids their age would insist on being covered. So we feel we're not being mean asking that they cover the car insurance. And the way we figure out what their car insurance is what's the change in car insurance when they're added. Or when it's renewed, we go through it and refigure that out. What would it be if they weren't on versus with them on? And so we take that, figure it out, and then that's what they pay. Because if they were on their own, they'd be paying that and a lot more. So, yeah. But he's paid 1 month since like September, October. So at $130 to $150 a month, it adds up. Anyway, Steph, how are things going where you're at? It sounds like you're still there with your dog. You felt you'd never... I mean, obviously, you had to. I agree. But I'm just wondering how you're feeling because of that and whatever else. And then where you said there's so many there in the state, and I don't know how many are in Arizona, too. Just wondered how things are going for you. What's expensive about it is their boys in their teens and 20s. I can see you only paying $65. Part of it is the amount of insurance, I will admit, because due to some experiences and whatever, I insist on a little bit higher medical amounts. Which has, yeah. So there's that. On top of that, they each get to choose if their vehicle's covered full or comprehensive or just collision. And I can't remember where they're at on that. But I also know you're in your 30s, they're teens and 20s boys. And honestly, Mindy's won't be near as much as Caden's and Steven's. Because testosterone. Let's just put it that way. Boys in their teens and 20s are the most likely to get in wrecks, so their insurance costs are the highest. Without accidents, etc., that they can be at. Plus, another part of it is, it varies by vehicles and whatever. I do know that too, so. Steven's vehicle is older than Caden's, and you generally think it would be cheaper than Caden's, but That's even worse. So she's now down with pneumonia. And having dealt with her friends, losing her friend. Yeah, that is sad. And yes, they always say, so here's the thing. Everyone always claims that boys are better than girls. But insurance underwriters and everything, the way they figure it out, ages are in accidents, and they plot that on a graph. Boys, separate boys and girls. 16 to whatever, I think it's 16 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, etc. I think it's split like that. It's like every 5 years or something, because I have a feeling I was told that once Steven's 25, his should reduce. But I think that's what they split it in. And then they see where the most accidents are. And they're going to be charged more and it's split partway that way. And then they also take, are there certain vehicles that are more likely to, or that cost more when they get in wrecks? So literally so this vehicle cost us this type of vehicle cost us this much. This type of vehicle cost us this much. And it goes from they break it down in bigger spaces of ages. But, in vehicles and then in spaces of ages. To figure out, are newer vehicles costing us more? Obviously, we're going to charge more for them. Is there a point in time when an older vehicle costs, when prices start going back up? We're going to charge more there, etc. So that's how they figure out your insurance, what you're going to be charged. And according to those, the boys are more likely to get in expensive wrecks than girls. Boys between the ages of 16 and 25, I think it is. And so boys between those ages have a higher insurance costs than any other group of people, period.
Tomorrow I'll find out.
Hi, you're done?
Yep.
Okay. I will head that way.
They'll let me know tomorrow.
Okay. I'm headed that way, so.
So yeah, a lot of the responsibilities are kind of the responsibilities at the shop. Just slicing meat and keeping everything stocked, manning the register.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't surprise me, and it's not that hard of a job.
Nope.
So
yeah.
Anyway.
I'll see you when you get here.
Yep. See you in a bit.
All right, bye.
Okay, now he's off. There is a point in time it slightly flipped, and I do know that didn't used to be the case. So I believe what happened, that the boys are better drivers than girls, came about early on in vehicle driving times. Because early on, the only people allowed to drive would be boys. And then also a lot of, even as more and more people started to drive, tractors were some of the first or, you know, tractors were quickly picked up. Obviously, because it could do a lot more work than even a horse. So if you put the money into a tractor and could get a tractor, you could bring in even more money and it would pay for the tractor. And so I think what happened is there was a point in time where literally males had more experience than females. Kaden! And so that would make them better drivers. On top of that, I will say, I think a big part of it is also a big part of saying boys are better than girls in driving was also just that male chauvinism, whatever.
I know a lot of girls out there are driving than me.
Well, I'll explain something in a minute with that. Just that feeling that girls are supposed to stay home and take care of the family and boys are supposed to be the ones doing everything else. And so I really believe that had a huge impact on it. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. I'm going to go into Smithfield to be able to get out of Smithfield because of the number of people coming to Smithfield Lee's. Holy crap.
Yeah, they are full, especially after the governor.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Everyone's freaking out. Hello, we're in Utah. How many of you don't have your food storage that should? I mean, 2 weeks and you have a few more days to prepare?
Yeah, place is going to be full. They said they'll let me know by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That's what you said. Anyway, so, Caden, to answer your thing, where this came, actually, reason I was saying it, is we were talking about insurance costs and how boys between 16 and 25 have the highest insurance costs because they have the highest claims.
Okay.
So, are you right in the fact that the girls are probably better drivers than boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what does everyone say? Or not everyone, but what do a lot of people claim?
That boys are better.
Uh-huh. In our family, minus the rain, who's the better driver?
You?
There is a reason, actually, that when we go out...
We just didn't have to go to that school thing.
I'm thinking we're going to head around Willow Park, but I'm thinking, actually, I might have you go into my contacts and call Fast Forward.
Oh. Jen missed... You missed Fluffy, not Fluffy.
Oops.
My bad!
So if you'd go into my contacts and call Fast Forward.
Okay. To check them out, or?
Well, I want to talk to him and find out what to do.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Oh, no. Yeah, Brett gets stuck on rocks in parking lots.
Yes, exactly!
Yes, they officially announced it!
What?
Genesect!
Okay, if you go if you pull this up and go there, you can, even while we're streaming, you could go call and then just switch back.
Fast forward, it's
Yes.
just right there. I just clicked it. Should I put them on speaker?
Yes. And then you can go back to it.
Fast forward, this is the office aide speaking. How may I help you?
Can I talk to Karen or Teddy?
1 second. Teddy is helping someone else. If I can put you on hold, and when she's done, she'll pick you up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 second.
Thank you.
This is Teddy. How can I help you?
Hi, Teddy. It's Sky Jensen. I have a question with what's going on right now. Coronavirus.
Wait, I can't hear. We don't have a very good connection. Can you start over?
Can you hear better now?
Oh, that's way better. Thank you.
My son was holding the phone for a minute. So, I have a question with what's happening with the coronavirus. My husband told me they've just found it in Up Mountain. Pull them out for a couple weeks to try and prevent them coming down with it, where they're just barely getting better, and see if we can get work to do from home or wait and risk it, or what.
Hold off for one
higher risk if something special needs to be done with them. That's my only worry, is they're higher risk.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, I will definitely bring that up, and then you just watch for the announcements. Okay.
Thank you so much, Teddy.
Okay, you bet. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
But you heard how quickly she's like, yep, we will figure that out for you. So that is why I love Fast Forward, is obviously they are, they work with people a lot more, and they're a lot more, they try to keep their pulse on everything and whatever else. So on top of that, so I will say one thing, I'm still going to be talking to someone and seeing if she can insist on masks at work. And if I need to, maybe I will see about providing masks for some or all of them. And it's because that would leave, if they come home, that would leave only one of us, one, maybe two of us, depending on what Caden hears, leaving the house to do stuff. And that would be my oldest son. And, well, he works for my mother, so he wouldn't be able to do anything if Mom insisted on, we're staying open, but we're putting masks on, because we may actually end up with a higher demand because of what's happening. Because they can't fit 50 people in their building, not in their public areas. You could not get 50 people in there, I don't think, let alone almost 100. And the number of employees are like in there at a time. During Christmas season, when it's the busiest, they're like 5. So maybe 10 at the most. So they are not going to be affected by this. So I'm going to go see if my mom's there. My mom or dad are there. We're going to kind of drive by there. And go from there. But I do not see, it looks like my mom's already. So there's that. My mom, when she heard, my mom was not happy last night.
Nope, no, she was not.
They were going to go to Germany middle of April. And the new thing that the governor put out, or not the governor, the President Trump put out, means they aren't leaving. Because they want to need to make sure they could get back. And, well, so she was going to be contacting today to the travel agency and find out what they're doing. So.
Okay. So that ticket won't go on sale till probably next Wednesday.
I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know where my sister is. My sister could be anywhere throughout Europe, possibly, or in Bountiful right now. But chances, about 2/3 of the year, she's in Europe.
I know.
Think about it. We're getting on a plane really soon and headed home. Her boys may not, boys. One of them is not where he would see her on a regular basis, but still would off and on. But her other one is still living at home. And they may not see her for at least 30 days if she's not on a plane or in Bountiful already. If she's home already.
She came to the Dawn, right?
Dawn. It doesn't mean anything. Even if she came to the family activity, she may have left Monday. With plans to be gone. Usually they ship her out for 2 weeks, bring her home for a few days to a week, and ship her out again.
That's no good.
If she was at the end, not the beginning of a break.
Oh! Shoot, we gotta...
I'm
check.
Let's drive over to Gates for a minute. Anyway, so I'm kind of hoping that was the beginning of her break, not the end of her break. The beginning of her time home, not the end. It may have been the beginning because they bring her home for conference. And that's in about 3 weeks, or 2 weeks from now. So possibility they would have just sent her out to be out for about 3 weeks. And she was one of the first people that the church allowed to work with kids when they had kids at home. And all I can get, in fact, at the very same time, hers was approved. Our cousin got pregnant and was basically told, well, you have to resign before you give birth or you will be fired. And part of the reason, both of them work for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So because it was and this was a number of years ago, and because it was a religious organization, they could fire for that reason. And it was because the church really had a policy of mothers should stay home, be home with their kids. Since then, in the past couple of years, they changed their policy, and you can still work when you're pregnant or with kids at home. But my sister and her husband adopted their kids about 10 years ago. I'm not exactly sure how long, but I think about 10 years ago. So,
Grandpa's here.
oh, Grandpa's here. I can go talk to Grandpa. Give him a heads up and see what he says. So, because of that,
I gotta go.
yeah, I can see that, and I'm sorry, Jen, or not Jen, Steph. Yeah, some people did, but a lot of times it was claimed that they weren't strong enough. My grandma worked on a farm. So, Anyway, I'm going to go talk to Dad, so I will talk to you guys later.